Hello and welcome to Lost Love Chronicles.
Dear listeners, before we get started, drop a quick hi in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, if you have any suggestions for us to make the channel better, please let us know. Now let's start with the story. I've been with my wife, Maya, for 6 years now, married for 3 of those. We met back in college, dated for a while, and eventually tied the knot. You know, the usual story. And I always thought we were doing pretty good. Sure, we had our arguments. Mostly about money. She'd get frustrated sometimes when I didn't want to splurge on some new gadget or trip. But I figured that was normal. Every couple has that stuff, right? Man, was I wrong. Last Friday night changed everything. Maya had invited some of her friends over to our place. They do this thing every couple of weeks, just hanging out, catching up, talking about their lives. Usually I stay in my home office, either working or gaming. It's kind of our unspoken arrangement. But this time, I got up to grab some snacks from the kitchen. As I was walking past the hallway, I could hear them laughing in the living room. Maya, her best friend Jas, and a couple of other women she works with. I wasn't paying much attention at first. Just girl talk, whatever. But then I heard my name. Jas was in the middle of saying something, her voice all casual, like they were just playing some dumb game. She said, "But seriously, Maya, what if someone better came along? What would you do then?" I froze in place. I wasn't even trying to eavesdrop, but when someone says your name like that, you have a right to know what's being said. And Maya, my wife, didn't even hesitate. Honestly, just look at Trent, she said, like I was some outdated phone model she was sick of, but too lazy to replace. Then she laughed. He's fine, I guess. But if someone with more drive, better prospects came along, yeah, I'd probably upgrade. They all burst out laughing, like it was the most obvious, funniest thing in the world. And me? I was standing there in the hallway, holding a damn bag of chips, listening to my wife tell her friends that I was basically her starter husband. Something temporary. Something disposable. But she wasn't done. She started listing all the things she wished were better about me. I mean, she said, he's just so safe. Like, boring, you know? He's always careful. Always cautious. Never does anything spontaneous. Someone chimed in with a fake gasp and said, "Oh no. A responsible man." They laughed again. Maya didn't miss a beat. "And don't even get me started on the money thing," she added. "He makes enough to get by, sure. But it's not the kind of money that gives you options. Like real freedom. He just can't give me the lifestyle I want. Our house, apparently, isn't good enough for her anymore. Not compared to her friend Sasha's new place. I've heard Maya talk about it before, how Sasha's kitchen has marble countertops, how the bathroom has one of those fancy freestanding tubs, how the whole place looks like it belongs in a magazine. Meanwhile, our place, cozy, clean, modest, is something she just tolerates. And my car? God forbid I drive something practical. It's a 2020 Honda Civic. A perfectly good car, runs like a dream, gets great mileage. But to her, it's embarrassing. Like it somehow reflects on her. Like every time she gets into the passenger seat, she's settling for less. Apparently, I'm not ambitious enough either. I've been at the same company for 4 years, and that, to Maya, means I'm stagnant. Stuck. She wants someone climbing ladders. Someone always chasing the next big thing. I thought stability was a good thing. Turns out, it makes me uninspiring. I just stood there in the kitchen, frozen. You know that feeling when you're watching a movie and something really messed up happens, and your brain just stops? That was me. Except it wasn't a movie, it was my actual life. My wife was in the next room casually telling her friends she'd trade me in for a better model if she could. Like I was some car lease coming to the end of its term. And the worst part? None of her friends disagreed. Not one. Jas chimed in. "Yeah, I get that. You deserve better." Another said, "Girl, you've been holding it down. He should be pushing harder for both of you." One of them even tried to make it sound like a compliment. "At least he's good with the house stuff," she said. Like I'm some kind of butler. A glorified handyman. I must have stood there for 10 full minutes while they picked me apart, piece by piece. My job, mechanical engineer. Solid work. Pays the bills. Gives us a stable life. But no, that wasn't good enough. Apparently, it's boring. Predictable. My clothes, they said I dressed like a dad. Which is funny, because we don't even have kids. I guess looking like a grown man who's comfortable doesn't count for much anymore. Even the way I laugh. Too loud, Maya said. Since when is that a problem? And the thing is, I've always been there for her. Always. When she quit her job to start her own business, I supported her. I paid all the bills for 8 months straight while she figured things out. When she decided it wasn't for her and wanted to go back to school for her master's, I paid for that too. No questions asked. The car she drives, the one she brags about to her friends, the payments come out of my account every month. But listening to her in that room, you'd think I was some lazy bum who just sat around in my boxers all day playing video games. She even complained that I spent too much time working. The same work that pays for everything she wants. I ended up going back to my office without grabbing any snacks. I couldn't eat anyway. My stomach was in knots. I just sat there, staring at my computer screen, trying to make sense of what I'd just heard. How long has she felt this way? Has she been telling her friends this stuff all along? Is this really what she thinks of me? And then all these moments started flashing through my head. All the time she'd made little comments about other guys. Guys with better jobs, nicer clothes, newer cars. The way she always seemed a little uncomfortable when we ran into her work friends, as if she didn't want them to see me. The way she tags me in posts about fancy houses or luxury cars on Instagram, adding captions like someday or goals. I always thought she was just dreaming big or whatever. Now I'm starting to think she's been trying to tell me I'm not good enough this whole time. And yeah, maybe I should have picked up on it sooner, but when you love someone, you don't want to see that kind of stuff, you know? Looking back, there were probably 100 signs I missed. Little digs, subtle comments. The way she looked at other couples sometimes like she wished she had their life instead. But hearing her say it out loud to her friends, that hit different. That cuts in a way you can't ignore. It makes you question everything. I started thinking about all the stuff I do for her. All the ways I try, really try, to make her happy. And what do I get in return? Apparently, I'm just some placeholder. A for now guy until someone shinier comes along. I couldn't just pretend everything was normal after that. I tried, for maybe an hour. Her friends left, and I just sat there in my office, staring at the wall, reading something, trying to process it all. Trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. Around midnight, I finally got up. She was in our bedroom, brushing her hair, getting ready for bed like it was just another night. Like she hadn't just told her friends she'd trade me in the moment someone better showed up. I stood in the doorway for a second, watching her like I didn't even recognize the person I was married to anymore. Then I just said it. Did you mean what you said to your friends? About upgrading for me? She turned around so fast. At first, her face looked confused. Then it shifted, shock, guilt. And then the worst part, that fake laugh. Oh my God, were you listening to us? She said, like I was the one who did something wrong. It was just girl talk, she added quickly, waving a hand like it was nothing. Don't be so sensitive. Just girl talk. Like that made it okay. Like casually trashing your husband behind his back is fine as long as it happens during wine night. I stepped into the room. I heard everything, Maya, I said. The stuff about my job, my car, how I'm not ambitious enough for you. And you know what she did? She flipped it. Well, if you're going to spy on private conversations, she snapped, you're going to hear things you don't like. Like I was the one invading her space. Like I was eavesdropping in someone else's house. Then she launched into this whole defense about how I was taking it too seriously. And how you know how the girls get when we're together. And that we were just joking around. But none of it felt like a joke. You know when someone's joking. There's a tone, a look, something playful behind it. But this was cold. Calculated. Honest in a way people only get when they think no one else is listening. So I looked her right in the eyes and said, even if you're joking, you should still respect me in front of your friends. Because that's the bare minimum, right? You don't just casually humiliate your husband like it's some kind of game, I said. But Maya just rolled her eyes, like I was the one making a big deal out of nothing. Like I was the problem for expecting some damn basic decency. She didn't even look sorry, just annoyed. So I asked her, straight up, do you actually want to be with me? Or am I just convenient until something better comes along? That's when she got mad. And right on cue, the fake tears started. I can't believe you'd question my love for you, she said, her voice cracking in that overly dramatic way she uses when she wants sympathy. You're being so insecure. Maybe this is why I feel stuck sometimes. Stuck. That word hit harder than anything else. After everything I've done for her, stuck? I basically laid it all out then and there. Everything. How can you say that? I've supported you through everything. I paid for your master's degree. I covered all the bills while you started that business you gave up on. I bought your car. I've done everything I can to give you the life you keep saying you want. And you know what she said? Oh, so now you're keeping score? Real nice, Trent. Real nice. This is exactly what I was talking about with the girls. You don't understand what I need emotionally. You just throw money at everything and think that's enough. I stood there staring at her, stunned. What? You're the one who's always talking about wanting more money, a bigger house, a better car. I'm the one who's been trying to make you happy this whole time. But she wouldn't hear it. She kept cutting me off, saying I was twisting her words, that she didn't mean it like that, and that I never understand her. Every time I tried to bring the conversation back to what I'd heard her say the night before, she'd dodge it. It became a cycle. Every time I pushed for a real answer, she'd either tell me I was taking it wrong, somehow spin it into being my fault, start crying and say I was attacking her, or just change the subject completely. We went back and forth like that for about an hour. Nothing got resolved. Nothing even got acknowledged, really. Finally, she snapped, fine. You want me to say I'm sorry? I'm sorry. Happy now? Can we go to bed? Like that fixed anything. Like saying the word sorry without meaning it somehow erased the fact that she told her friends she'd trade me in if she could. I didn't say anything. I just grabbed a pillow and went to sleep in the guest room. At around 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone buzzed. It was a text from her. Thanks for making me feel terrible. Hope you're happy now that you've ruined our night. I didn't respond. What's even the point? She clearly doesn't get why I'm upset. Or worse, she gets it and just doesn't care. This morning was weird. She acted like nothing happened. Made coffee. Asked what I wanted for dinner later. All smiles. All normal. But I noticed something. She kept checking her phone. Way more than usual. Maybe I'm paranoid now, but it got me thinking. Is she already looking for that upgrade she talked about? I tried to work from home today, but I couldn't focus. Kept replaying everything in my head. I started looking back through old photos on my phone the other night. Just scrolling, not even sure what I was looking for. And then I found this one, from our wedding day. We both looked so happy. I stared at it for a long time, and this thought crept in. Was she already thinking about upgrading even back then? Was that smile real? Or was I just a safe choice, a placeholder? The more I thought about it, the more little things started coming back to me. Like how she always wants me to come with her to her work events, networking mixers, charity galas, whatever. But when I do show up, she acts weird. Like she doesn't really want me there. She'll introduce me, sure, but it always feels forced. Then she kind of floats off to talk to someone more important, and I'm left holding a drink, standing alone, pretending to text someone. And her Instagram? She used to post pictures of us all the time, date nights, vacations, selfies from the couch. Now, nothing. It's like I've been erased. Her feed is just food, sunsets, motivational quotes, and selfies. Like she's single again. She's been working late a lot more too. At first, I didn't think much of it. Deadlines, projects, whatever. But now, after everything I heard her say that night, I don't know what to believe anymore. Part of me kept wanting to just brush it off, act like none of this mattered. But then I'd hear that voice in the back of my head asking, what's there to fix? She literally said, out loud, that if someone better came along, she'd leave me. How do you come back from that? I just acted normal the next day, pretended like everything was fine. But it was impossible not to notice the changes. Her phone addiction? It's gotten worse. Way worse. She's glued to it now, always typing, always scrolling. And the second I walk into the room, she flips the screen over or locks it like muscle memory. Like she doesn't even think about it anymore. And now, she takes calls in another room, always saying it's work stuff. But since when does work need so many private conversations? Since when is everything classified? It's not just the phone though. It's everything. She's stopped giving even the bare minimum in this relationship. No more little check-ins. No more how was your day. No more hugs from behind while I'm at the sink or casual touches when we pass each other in the hallway. She's here, but not really. It's like I'm living with a ghost. She's physically present, but her mind, her attention, her interest? Somewhere else. Somewhere way more interesting than me. Hell, half the time I feel like background noise in my own house. Then the other day, I was paying bills, as usual. I handle everything. The mortgage, utilities, both car payments, insurance. It's all on me. And that's when it hit me. Maya's salary. It goes straight into her personal account. Has since she went back to work. She tosses maybe a couple hundred toward groceries now and then, but otherwise, I'm carrying it all. So I asked her about it. I said, hey, can we talk about finances for a sec? I'm covering everything, and it feels kind of lopsided. She got defensive right away. We agreed this arrangement works best, she snapped. And you know I'm saving for our future. Our future. The one where she replaces me the second someone better walks in the room. She's been canceling our plans a lot too. Wednesday nights used to be our dinner night, every week since we got married. Just us. No screens. Real conversation. Last week, she texted me at 4:30. Hey, sorry, have to work late. Rain check. I didn't even argue. Just ordered takeout and sat in silence. Then later that night, I was scrolling and happened to see one of her coworkers' Instagram stories. Half the office was leaving for happy hour at 3 o'clock. When I asked her about the happy hour thing later, she barely blinked. Just said, oh, I forgot about the work thing, like it was no big deal. Then added, I didn't want to make you feel bad. Right. Because lying is better than being honest, apparently. And money, it's become a weird issue too. She used to at least pretend to care about the budget, act like we were in this together. Now, she's spending like crazy. New clothes, expensive makeup, salon visits every other week. It's like she's prepping for something or someone. When I brought it up, gently, just suggested we might need to cut back since I'm the one covering everything. She started crying. Full-on meltdown. You're financially controlling, she said through tears. You're holding me back. Holding her back? From what? Spending my money while she hoards hers? Living rent-free in my life, while I keep the whole thing from falling apart? I didn't even know how to respond. A few days later, I talked to my best friend Mike. Told him some of what was going on, not everything, but enough. He got quiet for a minute, then looked at me and said, "Trent, I didn't know if I should bring this up, but apparently, he and his wife had seen Maya at this fancy restaurant downtown last week. Some trendy spot we've never even been to together. Mike said she was dressed up, way more than she ever gets for me. Hair done, heels, makeup, the works. His wife even wanted to go say hi. But before they could, some guy came and sat down at her table. Mike said he figured I knew about it. Thought maybe it was a family friend or something. He didn't want to cause drama. Thing is, that night, Maya told me she was having dinner with her sister, Kay. Later, I casually mentioned to her, "Hey, Mike said he was downtown last night, small world." Just to see her reaction. She didn't even flinch. Just said, "Oh, that's nice," and changed the subject. Like it meant nothing. Like the line comes naturally now. And I've started noticing other things. Little patterns that don't make sense. She's got all these new outfits, but I never see her wear them at home. Never when we go out together. They just vanish into her closet, only to reappear when she's out. Her gym schedule is another mystery. She says she's going at 6 a.m. on some days, but when I leave for work at 7:30, her car's still in the driveway. Then she comes home later smelling like perfume I've never smelled before. Not the stuff I've bought her. Always has a story about where she's been, but the details never quite add up. Always just a little too vague. And the weirdest thing? When her family comes around, she flips a switch. Last Sunday, her parents came over for dinner. Suddenly, she was the perfect wife. Sitting next to me, laughing at everything I said, reaching for my arm while she talked, like we were newlyweds. But the second they left, right back to cold. Distant. Like I wasn't even there. I feel like I'm losing it half the time. Like, am I just paranoid now? Or have I really been blind this whole time? The more I sit with it, the more obvious it becomes. She's been checking out of this marriage for a while now. That conversation I overheard, it wasn't just random complaining. It wasn't venting. It was her telling her friends what she really thinks. And the most messed up part? She still expects me to handle everything. Pay all the bills. Fix stuff around the house. Deal with the car maintenance. Be the responsible husband. But the second I expect anything from her, even basic honesty about where she's been, I'm suffocating her. I kept thinking about something my dad told me when I was younger. He said, "Actions tell you everything you need to know about how someone feels about you." Well, Maya's actions are pretty clear now. I'm just a convenience to her. Someone to pay the bills, keep the house running, and carry the load while she does whatever the hell she wants. Emotionally, she checked out a long time ago. But everything changed the day my laptop died. It just wouldn't turn on. Black screen. Nothing. And I had this super important work presentation due the next day, client pitch, major deal. All my files were on there, and I still had edits to make. I was freaking out. Maya had her fancy work laptop at home. I figured I could just borrow it for an hour, tops, just enough to get into my cloud drive and fix the deck. So I asked her. She got weird. Like, really weird. "Oh, I need to clean up some work stuff first," she said, fidgeting. "I'll set it up for you later, okay?" Then, conveniently, she remembered she had yoga class. "Sorry, babe. I'll be back in a bit," she said quickly, already heading for the door. "I'll help you later." She rushed out so fast, she didn't even touch the laptop. Left the bag sitting right there in the living room. Now, I've never gone through her stuff. Never had a reason to. But I really needed to finish that presentation. And she'd used my laptop plenty of times before, no hesitation. We're married, right? So I figured, screw it. Just for the presentation. I opened the bag, pulled out the laptop, and booted it up. Chrome opened automatically. You know how it shows your most visited sites? There it was. Tinder. Right there. Not even hidden. No incognito tab. No effort to conceal it. Just sitting there. Plain as day. Right next to some other site I'd never even heard of, another dating site. I stared at the screen, heart pounding in my ears. Then I noticed her email was open. That's when my hands started shaking. There were dozens of messages. Conversations with different guys. Messages going back months. She had profiles on multiple dating platforms. But the worst part? In every single profile, she had herself listed as separated. Looking to upgrade. She'd written this whole polished bio, like she was proud of it. Talking about how she was stuck in a stagnant marriage. How she was ready to meet someone who matches her ambition. How she wanted someone who could give her the lifestyle she deserves. It was the same garbage I heard her say to her friends that night, but now she was broadcasting it. Advertising herself to every guy within a 50-mile radius. I just sat there, reading message after message. Guys telling her she deserved better. Her replying with complaints about me, how I lack vision, how I settled too early, how she needs passion and drive. Then there were messages about meeting up. Some at coffee shops, others at hotels. I scrolled through her inbox, seeing time-stamped messages that lined up perfectly with the yoga classes and girls' nights and work events on her calendar. And then, one message stopped me cold. Some guy had sent, "Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about it." That's when I knew. I was done. Done with everything related to her. I felt hollow, numb, like something had cracked open inside me and everything just drained out. Still shaking, I started taking pictures of everything with my phone. Not because I wanted to, but because I knew she'd deny it. Gaslight me. Turn it around. I needed proof. As I clicked through the messages and photos, my stomach turned. My chest was tight. My hands trembling so hard I could barely hold the phone steady. And then, I found the worst part. She had this folder in her Google Drive labeled New Life Planning. At first, I thought maybe it was something work-related. But when I opened it, my stomach dropped. Inside were screenshots of houses she liked, cars she wanted, even a budget spreadsheet, meticulously filled out, down to the cent. But the numbers? They didn't make any sense. The lifestyle she was calculating for, it was way beyond what I make. I scrolled through more files, notes about the kind of guy she was looking for. Things like, 6-figure salary minimum, drives luxury or performance vehicle, owns home or high-end condo, ambitious, socially respected. It was like reading a shopping list. But instead of groceries, she was shopping for my replacement. And it didn't stop there. There was a whole section on how to maximize assets during a divorce. Screenshots of divorce lawyers, articles about alimony laws, tips for timing separation to qualify for more financial support. She'd been planning it all out, a whole exit strategy, while still living under my roof and living off my money. I still don't know how I managed to finish my work presentation. I guess muscle memory kicked in. I submitted it. But honestly, I don't remember doing it. It was like my body was on autopilot while my brain was somewhere else entirely. After that, I put everything back. Every tab, every folder, closed out the browser, shut down the laptop, zipped it back up in her bag. Exactly how I found it. And when she came home from yoga, she lied. Of course she did. "Oh my God, the class was amazing," she said, kicking off her shoes. "We did this new flow sequence. It was so intense." I just nodded, watched her like she was on stage. Meanwhile, I knew she'd been at some coffee shop with a guy named Brad. I saw the calendar invite. I saw the messages. The next few days felt unreal, surreal, like I was living in a show and everyone else had the script but me. I had to act normal, pretend I didn't know anything. Meanwhile, she was sitting across from me at dinner, texting these guys, smiling at her phone like a teenager in love, probably thinking she's so clever, so subtle. She'd make up these random excuses, going out with Jas, late meeting, quick gym stop, and I'd nod along, biting my tongue, thinking about every message I saw, every lie, every plan. And here's the really messed up part. In some of the messages to these guys, she actually talks about how faithful she is. "I'd never cheat," she wrote to one of them. "I'm just waiting until I find the right person before I leave." Like somehow that made it okay. Like pretending she hadn't already emotionally abandoned our marriage gave her some kind of moral high ground. She's literally shopping for my replacement while living in my house, spending my money. But instead of confronting her right away, I decided to play the long game. I found a lawyer, a guy named Dave, recommended through a friend. Specializes in divorces, the kind where the other person thinks they're clever. I showed him everything I found, screenshots, messages, the new life planning folder. He gave me solid advice. Said that folder might actually help me. Shows premeditation. Shows she's been planning to leave for a while letting me fully support her. We made a list, step by step. First up, money. I've been handling our finances for years, so shifting things wasn't hard. I opened a new bank account, different institution, and had my paycheck rerouted there. Left just enough in our joint account to cover the basics, utilities, mortgage, a few subscriptions. Enough to avoid raising flags. Sure enough, after a few days, Maya noticed. She was staring at the banking app one night, her brow furrowed. "Hey, is our joint account lower than usual?" I kept my tone light. "Yeah, work's been weird about overtime lately. I figured we should budget better for a bit." She didn't like that. "Budget better?" she repeated, eyes narrowing. "I need money for personal expenses." I shrugged. "Yeah, I get it. But times are tough. Funny, isn't it? She talks all the time about wanting someone with more money, but she can't even handle having less access to mine." I started documenting everything. Every lie about where she's going, every sketchy expense, every late-night work event that doesn't line up. I've got this whole spreadsheet now, timestamps, screenshots, mileage, calendar notes. Dave says it'll help show a clear pattern when we go to court. A paper trail, evidence of intent. I even started tracking her car, when it's actually gone versus when she claims to be somewhere. The numbers? They don't add up. Not even close. The really interesting part, though, has been slowly pulling back. stepping away from all the little things I used to do for her, things she probably never even noticed I was doing. She had this whole routine where I handled everything, car, bills, household chores, even planning her family's stuff, while she floated around doing whatever she wanted. So I started forgetting things, like her car's oil change. Normally, I'd stay on top of it, schedule it, drop it off, even pick it up after. This time, I didn't say a word. Let her figure it out. She ended up calling from the dealership asking, "Why didn't you remind me my oil light was on?" I just said, "Oh, I figured you had it under control." Then there was her parents' anniversary dinner. Every year, I handle it, make reservations, order gifts, the works. Not this year. She brought it up a week before, and I just shrugged. "I thought you were handling that this time." She had to scramble. Pulled together a last-minute dinner at some place with terrible reviews. Her parents definitely noticed. Her mom even asked, "Did something change this year?" Yeah, a lot changed. Meanwhile, I needed somewhere to put all the anger, all the bitterness. So I joined this 24-hour gym near my office. Started going after work instead of heading straight home. Not for her, for me. Funny thing, Maya actually complained about it. "You're never around anymore," she said one night. I raised an eyebrow. Really? That's rich coming from someone who's constantly out with her friends. She just rolled her eyes and walked away. But the money thing? That's where the shift really started showing. Last week, she wanted to buy this expensive dress for a work event. Normally, she just swipes the card and I deal with the fallout. But this time, card declined. She called me upset. "Why isn't the card working? I need this dress, Trent." I kept my tone flat. "Yeah, we need to watch our spending right now." Her voice changed instantly. Cold. Clipped. "Well, maybe you should look for better opportunities," she snapped. "Or ask for a raise or something." Of course. Because I'm the problem now. I've been saving every cent I can. Canceled all those random subscriptions she had me paying for. Switched our cable package to something basic. Started buying generic brands instead of the overpriced stuff she likes. No more imported cheese or boutique skincare. Every time she complains, I just remind her, we're on a budget now. Being responsible, remember? The best part? She's starting to realize the truth, that her perfect little life was only perfect because I was making it that way. All those invisible things I did, house maintenance, car care, bills, scheduling, she's having to deal with them now. And she's terrible at it. Like when the garage door broke. Normally, I'd drop everything and fix it. But this time, I just said, "We should probably call someone," and went back to watching TV. She waited 2 full days, thinking I'd cave. Finally, she had to call a repair service herself. Cost her $200. Out of her own account. Suddenly, she's going around saying, "Everything's getting so expensive lately." Yeah, no kidding. The really crazy thing, though, is how hard she's still trying to keep up appearances. She's still on those dating apps. I check sometimes through her laptop browser history. Still telling guys she's looking for someone more ambitious. But now, she's also dealing with a car that needs maintenance, a garage door that keeps acting up, a credit card that actually has limits. All these things I've been forgetting to do, they're not just slip-ups, they're building a paper trail. A quiet, undeniable record of exactly what I brought to this marriage. Every crack in the facade is a reminder of what I used to hold together. And watching her slowly realize that her better life might not be so easy to find. Yeah, I'll admit it. Maybe I'm enjoying that just a little. Then, out of nowhere, Maya decided to shoot her shot and fix things. I was sitting on the couch one night, checking my phone. Let's be honest, she was probably messaging some guy on her dating app 5 minutes earlier. She sits down next to me, all chipper, like nothing's wrong. "So," she says, "the girls and I are planning this weekend getaway. A couple's trip. It's going to be amazing." She starts rattling off names. Jas and Mark, Sasha and Pete, Lena and Rob. All of them would be there. The same crowd from that night. The same friends who laughed while she talked about upgrading me like I was a used car. "We're renting this beautiful lake house," she went on, her voice softening, hand brushing my arm. "Trent, we should really go. It'll be so good for us." I stared at her. Is she serious? This whole time she's been calling herself separated online, planning her next move, laying out divorce spreadsheets and Tinder bios like it's a career change. And now she wants to play happy couple in front of the same friends who helped bury me alive in that living room? But then I paused, thought about it, and I said, "Yeah, that sounds perfect." You should have seen her face. Lit up like a Christmas tree. She probably thought she had me wrapped around her finger again. Like I was just her dumb, loyal husband who'd keep footing the bill while she window shopped for my replacement. The funny part? She started acting like a wife again. Overnight. Suddenly she's interested in my day. Asking me how work went. Making dinner, for the first time in months. Laughing at my jokes again. Trying to cuddle on the couch like nothing had happened. She even posted a photo of me on Instagram. First time since January. captioned it with something sugary. So excited for our romantic weekend getaway. The same woman who's been hiding her phone for months, calling herself emotionally neglected in DMs with strangers. And all her friends, the same ones who encouraged her to leave me, started commenting. Couple goals. You guys are so cute. Love this. I couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. Meanwhile, I've been talking to my lawyer the whole time, Dave. He's more than just my attorney now. He's a friend. Smart guy. When I told him about the trip, he actually leaned forward in his chair and said, perfect timing. So we got to work. Spent almost 3 hours in his office organizing everything. Screenshots from her laptop. Her dating profiles. That new life planning folder. Still can't believe she actually named it that. Bank statements showing how I pay for literally everything while she stashes her salary away untouched. All of it. And the divorce papers? They're printed, signed, sealed, sitting in my briefcase right now. Maya keeps asking why I'm bringing work stuff on our romantic weekend. I just laugh and say, deadlines don't stop for lake houses. If she only knew. The weirdest part is watching her try so hard now. Like she's auditioning for the role of perfect wife number 1 in some Instagram-sponsored rom-com. She's been gushing about how excited she is to finally spend some quality time together, making plans for hikes, wine tasting, maybe even a couple's massage. Meanwhile, her dating apps are probably blowing up her phone. Yeah, I still check her browser history sometimes. Maybe that makes me a jerk, maybe it doesn't. Honestly, I don't care anymore. Dave told me I need to stay calm and stick to the plan. Easy for him to say. He's not the one watching his wife fake affection while secretly planning her exit strategy. But I'm managing. Even helped her pack the car earlier. She actually smiled and said, "You've been so sweet lately." Yeah, just wait. The drive up to the lake house was weird. Maya was acting like we were on our honeymoon. Kept trying to hold my hand while I drove. Taking selfies, smile babe. Talking about all these cute couples activities she had planned. Kayaking, wine tasting, movie night. She even said, "This weekend's gonna fix everything. I can feel it." I nodded. Played along. Just a few more days. The house itself? Exactly what you'd expect. Massive, modern, floor-to-ceiling windows everywhere. Probably costs more than I make in 2 months just for the weekend rental. Maya's eyes lit up the second we pulled in. She's always been obsessed with this kind of thing. Sends me Zillow links all the time with captions like goals or someday. Meanwhile, I'm the one paying for our actual bills. Everyone else showed up around the same time. Jas and Mark got there first, of course. Jas has probably been coaching Maya through this whole charade. Then Sasha and Pete. Finally Lena and Rob. All of us standing around this oversized kitchen island, drinking wine and pretending to be impressed with each other's jobs, vacation plans, and home upgrades. Maya went into full-on performance mode, touching my arm every 5 seconds, laughing way too hard at everything I said. "Trent's been so amazing lately," she kept repeating, like she was reading from a cue card. I caught Jas giving her this little approving nod, like, "Good job, keep it up." Made my stomach turn. Dinner was at this ridiculous 12-person dining table. One of those oversized designer setups that probably costs more than my car. Definitely just for show, because who has 12 people over for dinner every week? Conversation was the usual cocktail of flexing and filler. Work's been wild. Europe was amazing. Did I tell you about our new cabin in Aspen? Blah, blah, blah. After dinner, everyone drifted out to the back deck. It was perfect outside, about 75 degrees, soft breeze coming off the lake, string lights twinkling over the railing. The girls clustered together, taking photos for their backup Instagram accounts. Yeah, Maya, I know about those too. The guys did that thing where they ask about each other's jobs, but don't actually care about the answers. I waited until everyone was settled in. Wine glasses full, phones in hand, laughter flowing. Then I stood up. "Hey," I said, "I've got something special planned. Something I want to share with all of you." Maya's face lit up instantly. She sat up straighter, all eager and giggly. "Ooh," she said, grabbing my hand. "What is it, babe?" She probably thought I was going to play some cheesy slideshow. Some sappy video about our relationship or something. Instead, I connected my laptop to the big flat screen they had out on the deck. Maya was still smiling, still holding my hand, probably expecting some old wedding montage or a vacation highlight reel. Nope. First thing that popped up? Her Tinder profile. The one where she describes herself as separated. The second slide? A nude photo she'd sent to one of the guys. Third, her new life planning folder, right there, for everyone to see. Budget spreadsheets. House listings. A manhunt checklist disguised as a vision board. You guys should have seen her face. Like someone had ripped the floor out from under her. She lunged for the laptop, stammering, "Trent, what are you doing?" I stepped back. "Not done yet," I said, calm as ever. Then I started reading. Out loud. Messages where she said she was stuck with me. Where she told guys she wanted someone more ambitious. Where she talked about using her friends, yes, the ones at that table, as alibis for meetups. I didn't have to exaggerate anything. The messages did the work for me. The best part? Her friends' faces. Sasha literally got up and walked away. Didn't say a word. Just stood and left the deck like she couldn't breathe. Jas, the one who started all this with her dumb, what if someone better came along question? She just sat there, whispering, oh my God, again and again, like a broken record. The guys? They all looked like they wanted to disappear. Pretty sure Mark was mentally scrolling through his own wife's messages right then and there. Maya tried everything. First she screamed, you had no right to go through my stuff. Privacy suddenly mattered now, huh? Funny how that didn't apply when she was using my credit cards, my laptop, my money. Then she tried the classic. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, Maya, I said. You're not even creative with your lies anymore. Then came the tears. You're trying to humiliate me in front of my friends, she cried, mascara streaking down her face like a cliche. I pulled out the divorce papers, laid them gently on the table, and said, remember when you let me borrow your laptop because mine broke? Thanks for that, by the way. Really opened my eyes. She turned to her friends for backup. Guys, you know me. You know this isn't what it looks like. Silence. Even Jas, always her cheerleader, just stared at the floor. I guess it's different when the evidence is playing out on a 60-inch screen. I grabbed my bag, looked around once. I've already paid for my share of the rental, I said. So you all go ahead. Enjoy your weekend. Maya was full-on sobbing now. She followed me to the driveway, tripping over her words. Trent, please, I can explain everything. Just talk to me. I didn't even stop. As I opened my car door, I heard Sasha's voice behind me. I can't believe you did this to him. Coming from Sasha, that's rich, considering she was one of the ones laughing along that night. The second I pulled out of the driveway, my phone started lighting up. Not just from Maya, but from her friends too. Lots of, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I feel sick. Yeah, right. They had every idea. They encouraged it. But what hit different was what happened after her family found out. Man, that was rough. They called me the day after everything happened. Turns out Maya had been spinning some wild version of reality to her parents. She'd been telling them I was the one who checked out of the marriage, me. That I was distant, uninterested, emotionally unavailable. All that classic deflection. Her mom called me in tears, voice cracking like she'd just heard someone died. Trent, what happened? She said you stopped caring. I didn't even get mad. I just asked if I could come over. When I got there, I brought everything. Screenshots, dating profiles, her new life planning folder. Her dad sat on the edge of his recliner, glasses in one hand, rubbing his forehead like he was nursing a migraine. The guy used to treat me like a second son, always telling people how lucky Maya was to have found a responsible man. Now he couldn't even look at the screen. I showed them everything. Her mom gasped when she saw the dating profile that said separated. Her dad just got quieter and quieter. Barely said a word for 15 minutes. Just stared. When Maya tried to go over there and explain everything to them later, it went about as badly as you'd expect. Her dad told her straight up, I didn't raise you to be this kind of person. Her mom? She just cried. Couldn't even look Maya in the eye. They're still talking to her. I guess she's their daughter, after all, but it's different now. Her dad hasn't spoken to me directly since that day, but he did send me a text. I'm sorry. You deserved better than this. That one hit me harder than I expected. Not because I needed the apology, but because I think he meant it. Her friends? They scattered like roaches when the lights flipped on. Jas sent me some long message on Instagram about how she never meant for any of this to happen and how she was just trying to be supportive of her friend. Yeah, supportive, by laughing about replacing your friend's husband. Classy. Mark, Jas's husband, even called me. Said he had no idea what the girls talked about when they got together. Sure, buddy, I told him. Enjoy that blissful ignorance while it lasts. Sasha and Lena? They both unfriended Maya on everything. Guess they're worried their own husbands might start wondering what kind of trash talk goes on during their girls' nights too. But the real shocker was Kay, Maya's sister. She was furious. Not just because Maya used her as an alibi, repeatedly, for meetups with random guys, but because she'd defended her. She actually stood up for Maya to their parents at first. Told them there must be some explanation. Then she saw the evidence. Realized how many times Maya had lied to her face. Now, they're not speaking at all. Maya's crashing at her cousin Emma's apartment in the city now, pretty much the only family member who'll still deal with her. And me? My phone's been going off nonstop. At first, Maya was angry, texting me things like, I can't believe you humiliated me like that. Right. Because I'm the one who made dating profiles while married. I'm the one scheduling hotel meetups and tagging dream houses while draining our joint account. Then she switched tactics. The crying started. I'm so sorry. I messed up. I'll change. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I didn't realize what I had. Now it's negotiation mode. Trying to talk like this is some kind of business deal. Texting things like, let's be fair, Trent. I deserve half of everything. Even though I have proof she was planning to leave, Dave, my lawyer, says the divorce should be simple. All those screenshots, the dating profiles, her new life planning folder, they basically make my case airtight. He called it strategic gold. Said it shows intent, especially since she was still living off my money the whole time she was setting it all up. Maya tried to say she deserved alimony, said she'd grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Dave shut that down immediately, pulled out her own words, her own messages, bragging to guys about her secret savings. Hard to claim financial dependence when you're telling strangers you've been stashing money and planning your exit. The house feels weird now. Empty in a way I can't explain. Not peaceful yet, just quiet. She came by with her cousin last week to grab some of her things. I didn't say much. She kept trying to talk while packing, asking if there was still a chance to work things out. Trent, I just think we rushed into this, she said, holding up one of her dresses like it was some kind of peace offering. Maybe we can fix it. Maybe we just needed space. I just told her, you'll have to talk to Dave about anything legal. That was my line for everything she asked, especially when she wanted to take some of the furniture her parents gave us as wedding gifts. She didn't like that. Not one bit. But honestly, I'm doing okay. I think. It's kind of insane how different everything is now. 2 months ago, I was standing in my kitchen listening to my wife joke about upgrading from me. Now, she's sleeping on a pull-out couch at her cousin's place, trying to figure out how to afford rent in a city she used to brag about conquering. Turns out that better life she wanted? It's a lot harder when you have to actually pay for it yourself. The dating apps? Still up. Cousin's friends found her profile, said she lists herself now as a recently separated, independent woman. Had to laugh at that one. Real independent, now that she's actually got to pay her own bills with her own income. But here's the wild part. Last week at the gym, something unexpected happened. There's this girl who works there, helps people with their form and workouts. She's been cool. Chill. Not flirty, just normal. After one of my workouts, we started talking. Nothing big, just small talk about workout routines and favorite snacks. Somehow we ended up getting coffee across the street. Turns out she went through something similar with her ex. Not identical, but close enough that she gets it. She knows what betrayal feels like. What fake love sounds like. We've been texting a bit since then. Nothing serious. No pressure. Just real. And she's different. She works for what she wants. Doesn't expect anyone to hand her anything. It's refreshing. Didn't think I'd be ready to talk to someone new so soon. But just being around someone normal again? It made me realize something. While Maya was out there searching for an upgrade, I'm the one who actually found something better. Someone honest. Someone simple. Someone real. I actually have plans tonight. She's going to teach me how to make sushi. It's weird how sometimes the worst things in your life crack things wide open and show you a better way. Oh yeah, and I canceled the Netflix account yesterday. The one Maya's probably still using at her cousin's place. Funny how I don't even care about that stuff anymore. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.